And then the next one, man, we got up UFC boxing. Another one of my favorites, man. So the heavyweight gorilla Derrick Lewis has dominated Rodrigo Nascimento this past weekend. James, have you seen this fight or heard anything about this?
Yes, I did. Yeah, I thought that was interesting.
Man, this was crazy. This was a crazy fight. I watched both of their documentaries, and he beat him in the third round. I mean, that's pretty impressive. Lewis kind of, when I was watching the documentary, man, Lewis kind of stated like Rodrigo is just another BS heavyweight. And I think that hit a nerve. I'm not gonna lie. And he kind of showed us that he was in this recent fight. I mean, he had more toughness. He does this stance where he kind of, if he wins, puts his arms in like a gorilla type of stance. So it's exciting to watch him, honestly. How brutal was Derrick Lewis in this fight to you?
You know, I thought he was pretty decently brutal, and he did put on a good performance.
Mm-hmm.
But I know we've definitely seen worse.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I think this one was kind of just. This was an easy match for him. I know he's done some more like crazier damage. It wasn't like I said. He wasn't too brutal, but when he was time, he came out like a gorilla in key moments when it was necessary. And he basically showed, regardless of who was the most dominant, which was him, and it showed like I told you, defeat him in the third round, James. I mean, I hate when it's a quick fight, but it's like, whoever's the best is going to show it, in a short amount of time. How do you feel that it only being 3 rounds, though?
That's a surprise, especially with like the names, these two names here. You'd think that it would have, dragged on a little bit longer.
A little bit, because usually fighters that have a difference in the record, that least amount could kind of hold off. Just even if he's losing, just fight the whole way. But and we kind of look at the stats difference. I mean, Lewis almost triples his numbers. Really, he's 28 wins, 12 draws, 0 losses. With Nascimento's 11-2-0, which is pretty much almost triple. 41 of 75 strikes landed, with his 27 of 41 shots landed. 33 headshots landed for Lewis. Nascimento had 16 headshots, and this was a big difference. Lewis's overall was 80, and his was 36. Just looking at these stats alone, James, was Rodrigo supposed to fight Lewis, man, or should he have waited?
I guess you got to do your best when the fights come up.
Yeah.
But maybe waiting on this one would have been the smarter thing to do.
Yeah. But like I said, it's always, I think he should have waited, though. Because he doesn't even have 20 fights under his belt. And it's like, Lewis had way more experience. He's almost at 30 fights. He's won almost 30 fights. He's had over 50 fights almost. And he's doubled his stats in this fight. But this could be a learning experience for him. You know what I'm saying? To build and kind of realize, okay, what do I need to accomplish to beat this type of fighter with this much experience? It's kind of like, one of these young fighters trying to fight Mayweather or Tank or, yeah, you lost, but it's a learning experience. Everything is a learning experience. So
something to put on the resume too. I mean, that it's still impressive that he did go 3 rounds, and that he fought a little too.
It wasn't just a dominant 1 round fight. 3. He did what he could. It was that signature hit and slam, because it looked like Nascimento kind of had him in the beginning, but once he was able to get out of that and just pound him his face, man, it was pretty much over with from that. I don't know. He must have some arms still in there. But what was the main thing you could appreciate from both Lewis and Rodrigo, I guess, in this fight?
I gotta say that Rodrigo showed up and he was there to fight. I mean, it didn't last as long, but I think what you can appreciate from the fact of Lewis is the fact that there were those 3 rounds.
Yeah.
I mean, short and sweet, and get it done.
Right, get it done. Straight to the point. I can appreciate the dominance and sportsmanship of Lewis, I'm gonna have to say, after this fight. And as far as Rodrigo, man, I appreciate the heart and the confidence because it takes a lot to fight one of these top fighters. He's fought people like Tyson Fury and stuff like that. So it takes a lot, and he accepted his fight and did his best, and he should keep that energy throughout his career. Like, don't let it discourage you that you lost. Let it be like, okay, I fought one of the greats. Let me keep training, keep working, for sure. But y'all let us know how y'all feel about that. Before we even get into the next one, man. Once Rodrigo hits 20 fights, you know what I'm saying, and 20 wins and stuff like that, should there be a rematch?
I would love to see a rematch between these two.
Yeah.
And especially after Rodrigo gets a little bit more experience, a little bit more polish.
Yeah.
We might see a different result.
Oh, yeah, for sure. It definitely would be a different type of ball game. There should be a rematch in hand to see an improvement and to see if he can change the scenario. Plus, I know their next fight would just sell way more, especially if, let's just say, Nascimento is out here killing the game and going crazy. Yeah, for sure. And he can show the young fighters coming up that you can learn from your experiences, learn from your losses. But y'all let us know how y'all feel about that. Should there be a rematch? Shout out to all the UFC fighters and the fans, and we're going to keep you guys updated. And before I pass it over to my co-host, James, we got to get into
J&J Sports, coming to y'all with more in 2024.